Unordinary, Twitch TV/Unordinary. Today I'm going to go over 10 of the reasons that I feel are best to choose Heroes of the Storm over other MOBAs such as League of Legends and Dota 2. Now, of course, you can play any of those games that you feel like because they are all free to play. But for these very reasons alone, I feel make a great strong case to play Heroes of the Storm over those if you had to dedicate your time to just one of the games. Heroes of the Storm for a reason. You get to play as your favorite characters from your favorite franchises such as StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Diablo, and so forth. I mean, you get to play as Illidan. That's dope as hell. You get to play as Kerrigan. You can play as Raynar. Whoever you want to play as that was the main character in one of the franchises, you get to play them in this game. And that's cool as shit. And you also get to specialize your play style to how you feel. You know, you could be a tank Illidan, you could be a damage Illidan, whatever you've seen in the previous franchises you get to play as, and that's one of the main reasons to pick this game over other MOBAs. Unique talents and skills transferred over from previous franchises and games, that's one of the main reasons to choose this game. Each character, rather Illidan or Kerrigan, you'll see talents and skills that you saw while playing against them in the campaign in the previous games. And that's cool. They also have a purpose of why they're in the game, why they're a fan favorite, why they were choosing to be part of Heroes of the Storm, where in other games the characters are just there. They have no backstory. They're just, you know, a big ass spider or something like that, and they have no purpose or any reason why they're fighting or anything like that. And in this game, you get to see your favorite heroes battle it out, and they all have had a purpose in the past, and that's cool as hell. The reason to choose this game is the graphics are actually really good for a MOBA. That was my issue with other previous MOBAs, where the graphics just weren't too good or there wasn't a lot of customization. League of Legends looks like a game that was made in the 90s, which is fair because it plays on a lot of computers. But this game has a lot of customization that you could actually, you know, you could dumb the graphics down or you could make them really great, and you know, it's on par with at least StarCraft 2 or Diablo 3. There's a lot of action going on and a lot of particles and stuff like that, and the spells look really nice, and the character designs and the skins look really cool, and the graphics are just really outstanding for a MOBA, which is my third reason to choose this game. Ultimates in this game actually feel like ultimates. There's a lot of shit going on when the ultimate's going off, either a character yelling or big beams going off or anything. You just know that an ultimate's going off, you know some shit's going to happen. And in other games, ultimates sometimes don't feel like ultimates. A lot of the characters' ultimates feel weaker than other characters' regular spells, and you know, rather it be a carry or a support or something like that. In this game, every ultimate feels like it could sway the battle if casted right, and finally a game actually gets ultimates right. You know, in some games, like I said, ultimates just seem like a regular spell. You know, there's nothing to really look forward to. Some characters, you even, you know, you get level 6 and you skip the ultimate. You know, that to me, that should never ever happen. If an ultimate's worth getting, you should be able to get it when it first happens. And on the flip side, some characters way overpowered with the ultimates, rather through they're just passive and they do extra damage to people or something like that throughout the entire game. And they just take over a game once they get to, like, say, their second level of ultimate, and it starts snowballing out of control. In this game, whether you're a support, healer, a regular tank, or anything like that, an ultimate could definitely sway the fight, and they all seem like they have a really good impact on the game. And I'm just happy that the game finally gets something right with ultimates. It's balanced. The game is incredibly balanced for an alpha. Regardless of your high skill level or low MMR, if you know what MMR is, basically it's a hidden rating where, you know, based on who you beat, who you play with, based on a bunch of things actually, but you know, it's hidden, but you'll definitely usually get pitted against people usually of your talent level. And regardless of high MMR or low MMR, you'll definitely see a wide range of heroes. You know, you definitely don't see the same heroes every game. You know, sometimes you go many games without seeing Nova, or you might see Diablo as a tank for one team, and you might see Stitches as a tank for another team. Every team has definitely different ways you could go with it, and for Alpha, it's actually pretty mind-blowing that the game is so balanced so far. You know, I never looked at a hero so far and was like, wow, they need to nerf that like right now. Or I never looked at a hero like, dang, that hero is weak as shit. You know, it's so far a lot of stuff. Yeah, you know, some stuff could be improved, but so far everything seems to be falling into place with the character traits and how powerful they are in the game as well. For the game to snowball out of control. In Heroes of the Storm, you don't get gold to buy items with. Instead, your team levels as you do. You could be winning in kills, but losing in levels, because the game requires 100% teamwork and coordination. While you might be off ganking a lane 3 vs 5, the other two players on the other team are completing objectives and destroying keeps and towers to keep their team in the game. On the flip side, if you are down 2 or 3 levels in the later stage of the game, one good team fight can actually sway the game in your favor. You need to play your best for the full length of the game. Every team has a shot of winning, no matter if it's the 20-minute mark or the 30-minute mark. Range from other MOBAs because of the game length. In Heroes of the Storm, the games are shorter games. Other MOBAs take usually 30 minutes to an hour to complete. In Heroes of the Storm, a long game would be 30 minutes, maybe usually at the most. The average game lasts maybe 18 minutes, sometimes even shorter than that. And it's hard for other team to draw it out longer and say, you know, bad manner you a lot or anything like that, because eventually the creeps will kill your core on their own anyway. So if you had a bad game, it's alright because it won't last long and you can improve yourself the next game. And also, if you're a working person or you have some other arrangements, you can knock out a game or two before you have to go and not worry about if your game is going to last an hour or longer, because no matter what, usually the game will end at the 30-minute mark. Regardless of what's happening. Another good reason is made by Blizzard. Now I can see why some would say this would be a bad thing, but give credit where it's due. You know, Blizzard for the past decade has been having tournaments ranging back to Warcraft 3. They used to even have tournament icons and everything like that, if you're old enough to remember that. World of Warcraft was one of the first games with big money prize pools for tournaments. You know, it was $250,000, and they used to have multiple tournaments and everything like that. And you know, that was huge back in the day. You know, I know DOTA just had their $10 million tournament, and you know, I think that a lot of the people who promote tournaments and events like, say, DreamHack, will follow through and pick up this game as well. I don't see why not. MOBAs are huge in the community right now, in the tournament community, and you know, Blizzard is a big name in that community as well, and you add both of those together, and you know, I can't see why they wouldn't have huge success with tournaments and big money prize pools and everything like that. I mean, there's tournaments for Hearthstone, which is a card game, and that's already being showcased at some of the tournaments, say at, like, you know, DreamHack and everything like that. So, or independent tournaments. So I fully expect Blizzard to pick this up as, say, something like BlizzCon, to have a big money tournament in the next few years, and you to see it around at some of your favorite tournaments and lands as well. The game is incredibly easy to follow along as a spectator, especially with how popular streaming is getting with, you know, Twitch TV or VODs with YouTube and other services as well. Even someone who's never played a MOBA before can usually watch the game and understand what's going on for the most part, and that might, you know, entertain them to get into it. I think the game is going to be huge. It's free to play, like I said earlier, like any other MOBA, but the difference is that it's very, very welcoming because of how easy it is to follow along and watch. And I think tournaments and how easy it is to spectate is just going to put MOBAs on a whole different map. Because of that, you know, MOBAs are already leading tournament platform right now, but I think this will elevate that even more, just because if this was showcased on, say, ESPN or something like that, it'd be easier for the regular person at home to watch this and understand what is going on, just for the simple fact that it's not item based and gold based and your team levels together and everything like that. And also going back to the other points of, say, graphics, where it's very easy to understand and know what's going on as well. You know, it's just not like a few seconds of actions and then the fight's over or something like that. You know, it's a lot of movement around, and with how the graphics look, it makes it very easy to see. Let's say Brightwing is healing Illidan, and Illidan jumps onto Diablo or somebody like that. You know, everything's very clear, which all couples back to being a very easy game to spectate. Point, my final reason. Number 10. The game is very, very easy to play, but incredibly hard to master. In this game, you know, there's multiple play modes, rather it be casual, ranked, custom, and other stuff as well. But those are going to be the two main play modes. With the hidden MMR system, you know, the rank's not in alpha yet, so we can't see exactly how that's going to play out. I would imagine it's going to be on a ranking system like you would see in StarCraft or something like that. You'll be put with people on your skill level, just like any other MOBA. The difference is each character on Heroes of the Storm has a difficulty rating under the portrait. So you'll see some heroes that will say easy or medium, or you know, and they'll say ranged specialist. They're very, very you know, it'll say, you know, very difficult for a certain laner, and one laner might be, you know, very easy to use. They're very, very descriptive of who should play what based on your skill level. You know, they're not, you know, pigeonholing you in a certain area. You know, I talk about Illidan a lot in this broadcast, but at the same time, Illidan, one of the more popular characters in Blizzard history, is actually one of the hardest characters to play in this game. Very, very hard to keep alive. And the difference I noticed in this game and other games is that, you know, everybody wants to play a carry in the other MOBAs, and in this game people don't mind playing the ranged support or the healer or somebody who's more known for laning or support or something like that, because going back to the balance part, the game feels very balanced, and you know, you don't feel left out by playing Zagara over, say, Zero Tool or somebody like that. You know, you're definitely in the game, and you contribute at all stages of the game, regardless of, you know, levels or anything like that. And it's very, very welcoming to new players that, you know, they could come into the game and they could pick a hero and do good with it, and it doesn't have to be a main character or anything like that, you know. And going based off that, with all that said, it is still very easy to tell a great player from a not so great player, and you'll see the separation once you get higher in MMR and everything like that. But being great in this game is also a very, very rare thing. At any given time when you sign on to Alpha, you'll see anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 people signed on at the same time, with, I would say, a good majority of those playing throughout the day. And you know, even with the small player pool, you can still tell in the game who's really put time into a hero. One, there's master skins where, you know, once you get level 10 with a character, you can unlock them. So somebody who's got to level 10 has spent some kind of time with that hero as well. Doesn't necessarily mean they're a great player, but they've spent some time with that player and learning the moves and everything like that. But even without that master skin or anything like that, you'll be able to tell you just know when you're in a game with a great player. They'll be taking over the game, but usually by then you're usually, you know, those are rare occurrences for the simple fact, based on the MMR, you're usually pitted with people with your same skill level. But when you know, you'll know, and I fully expect those top players that you'll see in those games will usually be on teams, and they'll be on the, you know, top ranked teams, and they'll be competing for money and everything like that. But even if you only play a few times a week, you will be facing players, and you'll just be playing people on your skill level. To pick Heroes of the Storm over other MOBAs such as League of Legends and DOTA, if you had to choose just one to spend your time with. And I just want to say thank you all for watching for the full length. I know it's kind of a long broadcast. If you want to, you can follow me on Twitch. I do stream from time to time. I wouldn't say I'm the best player, but I would say I'm in you know, above average, and you know, you can learn some things as well. And you could subscribe to my YouTube. I do plan on having a lot of Heroes of the Storm content on my YouTube channel, especially once we're starting nearing towards beta and everything like that, and more people get to play, and more of my friends could get in, and I got more teams and everybody to play with and everything like that. Thanks so much for watching, and you guys have a great rest of the day or night or whatever time it is, wherever you're at in the world. Thank you.